Good morning, day, afternoon, evening, night, folks. I am IvyDude0, and it's time for y'all to kick off those shoes, sit back, relax, and make yourself at home. It's time to enjoy some more Game Dev Tycoon. We're gonna go ahead and get back in here. So anyway, since our funding is kind of getting a little bit low, I mean we're only at 6.8k. That's a good opportunity for us to be able to do some contract work. So that was 10 design and 3 technology, which is a fairly low contract. Which we should be able to finish here. So, yep, so we finished it, so we got a little bit of cash here. So, yep, so yay, it's wonderful. Usually I have new contracts every 6 months. So, so if we go back to our contract work, now there's only 2 instead of 3 because of that. But this one is 16 and 3, so that's 19 total. This one's 7 and 10, so it's 17 total. We have 5 weeks to do that. We have 3 weeks to do that. So we could probably finish this one up pretty well. It's 17 and 5 weeks, so that's not too bad. So long as we don't get held up or anything. But as you can see, we're also getting a little bit of money back from Canyon City, which would hire again. Sweet. So we just got another 19k. So now that we got a little bit more cash in our bank account there, we made 66,000 in sales, which I think is just a little bit over how much it cost to make it. So we made a small profit, but not much. So more or less a wash. But anyway, we'll go ahead and develop a new game. So, make it on the PC, which is good for adventure and simulation. So we'll go ahead and make an adventure game. And I'm going to go ahead and try a cyberpunk adventure, I think. Because, at least in my opinion, adventures and RPGs can be fairly similar in a lot of respects. Let's also put our game engine there. And so just to have, bearing that in mind, it might not be too bad for a cyberpunk if it was good for an RPG to also be good for an adventure. So we'll at least try it, and I'll get back to you guys when I've thought of a name for this. Alright, so we're going to call this one, that word is city. It's going to be called City Like the Night Sky. So I felt, in a cyberpunk type of environment, cities are going to, have a lot of lights and that kind of stuff in them. So looking at it from a distance might be like a night sky. So anyway, so we didn't really have any kind of advice about this development stage 1. So I'm gonna kind of I'm gonna put the stories and quests up a little bit, bring down the engine a little bit, and we'll see how that does. Okay, so we've gotten here into the development stage 2. So we found that artificial intelligence doesn't seem to be very important in this. So we put a little bit too much in that last time. So we'll go ahead and slide that quite a bit down. We'll boost up our level design so it's about equal with our dialogue, and then we'll keep going. Alright, so we've hit the development stage 3. We didn't really get any tips on this one either, though I'm going to go ahead and assume that what I had was still pretty good for an adventure. So we'll go ahead and just do that and see where it gets us. We also have casual games now. Alright, so we just got some industry news basically saying that the GoFedora G64 is going down and losing its market share against the other PC manufacturers. So basically, like we saw in real life, the Commodore kind of lost its I guess, spark to PCs. But anyway, let's get the bugs out of here, and I'll let you know when it's finished. Alright, so we're just finishing this thing up here. So we actually got a new record in technology or in design, but our technology is not so hot. So I'm hoping that doesn't bring it down at all. But anyway, let's release the game and see how we did. Okay, so we got the game review here. And oh wow, this is actually looks like it's gonna be okay. So 7's across the board would be nice. 7 and 8. All right, they're focused on dialogue. So okay, so adventures do well with dialogues. Good to know. You can kind of get some tips on that kind of thing from the actual ratings themselves. So Invento is coming out with the Gameling. So the Game Boy is coming out. The Gameling is underpowered, but given the low cost and excellent portability, might find a huge following. Which, oh boy, I think in my childhood I actually spent more time with the Game Boy in hand or in pocket than I did without. I mean, not those ones because those ones are huge, but once the Game Boy Color and that kind of stuff came out in the Game Boy Pocket, those things, I had those all the time. The Nintendo DS, all that kind of stuff. I always had mine with me. But anyway, let's go ahead and put in for a game report. Yeah, so we've already made a profit on this, and it's only been out there for not even 3 full weeks, so this one will serve us pretty well. Yeah, I mean, we've already got 73.9k, so from negative 20 something. So Cyberpunk Adventure is an okay comment. Okay, so maybe what I was thinking wasn't quite on, but it seems to work. Story and quests seem to be very important for this type of game, so I think I put it up pretty well in there. But anyway, so let's. We probably don't have enough to really justify getting a new game engine because that's going to be expensive. But let's go with the strategy game on the PC, with the topic being, we'll say cyberpunk. I think that kind of gives off kind of, a futuristic vibe, kind of, kind of future warfare kind of thing. So anyway, I'll also take a second to go ahead and name this thing. Alright, so then we're going to call it Advanced Warfare, and I can't get sued for that because Advanced Warfare is not the full name of the Call of Duty game. So let's go ahead and start development on this. Alright, so we're here at the first development stage for a strategy game. Story and quest can go down a bit, engine can go up a bit, and gameplay needs to be solid, I think. I'll go ahead and wait for the next... Oh, never mind. Game link came out. Okay, go ahead and wait for the next development stage. Okay, so AI I think needs to get pretty good. Dialogues can go down quite a bit, almost nothing. And then level design I think needs to be pretty solid in a strategy type game. Okay, so now we are in the stage 3. I don't really know what I would consider to be world design in a strategy game. I mean, if we have level design, there's not really an overall world that we have to worry about too much for that. So we can bring that down, pull up the sounds, pull up the graphic, and I think that will do good. Or at least we're going to find out. Alright, so City Like the Night Sky is off the market. It's sold quite a bit. So that one did pretty well. I think once we get sequels coming in here, I think we'll do another one of those. Or, like a reboot, like everything is doing nowadays, because I think that might do well. Alright, so in stark contrast to our last game that we made, this one has much better technology than design, so I suppose it's good to have a little bit of variety. But anyway, let's go ahead and release the game and see how well it does. 6... Okay, so all in all, we got a 5, though we do have some valuable insight on what we did wrong. Shouldn't forget about world design, and then we also got a little bit of, affirmation of what we did do. Strategy games work well on the PC, so we can at least use this information for next time when we continue to make a game like that. Alright, so I went ahead and I made a game report here. So we found out that I am terrible at picking topics. Cyberpunk is a terrible strategy game combination, it looks like. Engine seems to be quite important, and we did find out that PC and strategy is a great match, which, I mean, to at least to our standards today, seems fairly obvious. But anyway, we need to keep going and making new games, just so we don't, just so we can build up some cash, so that we can, actually get a better game engine. Because that's kind of my goal, is kind of keep going, keep on building up to the next game engine to be able to, create better games. Which actually, I may, though, research a new topic. I'll give ourselves a little more variety. So we'll get a medieval, because I think I want to try for another strategy game. And I think that medieval would probably do better like that. I mean, like a... oh, shoot, what it was called? Crusader Kings, I think that's what it was called. Or... Crusader, yeah, Crusader Stronghold and those kinds of things. Kind of the medieval type strategy games. But if you have more than 1 million in cash, you'll be able to move to the next level. It might sound like a lot, but don't worry. Once you release a hit game, you'll get that amount easily. So basically, what that's saying is, after a certain point, no matter what kind of game you put out, all of a sudden it'll just be a huge hit. You'll get to move on to the next stage. But anyway, there's the Sega Gears coming out, or the Vega Gear, sorry. Alright, so we just got medieval game types, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to make, and there's PC, genre, strategy, topic, medieval, and on our game engine here, and I will come right back once I've found out a name for this. Alright, so we're just going to call this Swords and Kings. Simple, has something to do with medieval, or I guess something to do with the medieval time period, but anyway, I'll get back to you guys once we're in the first development stage. Okay, so engine seems to be important for strategy games, and it's at 2 pluses out of 3, so we want to kind of leave it kind of where it was at. This seems to be a pretty good one. Stories and quests we can still leave down here, and I think stage 1 is pretty much good where it was at, so we'll keep on just going ahead with that. Okay, so development stage 2, we really didn't get much insight, but I think that will do just fine. I mean, I guess to the best of my knowledge, what we really got, shot down with was the bad combination and poor world design. So we'll go ahead and we'll rectify that and get in some good world design, drop the graphics a bit, drop the sound a little bit, and we'll see how well that does. Alright, so this game actually did really well. We got we got new records on both technology and design. And so because of that, I would imagine that if we are going to have a good game come out that's going to kind of be, like the one that pushes us over 1 million, this is probably going to be the one. So we'll see. I mean, we're coming from 61K, so I mean, we're not even a tenth of 1,000 in, or a tenth of 1 million in, but yeah. I would imagine that this is going to be the one to push us over the edge. So watch this. We're going to get 3 10s and 1 9 here. The last one's going to be a 9. At least I have never gotten a perfect 10 before. Yep, 9. I would say all games is always the one that screws me over whenever I do well, so, well. Yep, so no insights on how to make the game better on there, but that's okay. So, yeah, this one is going to be just ridiculous, and, yeah. This is going to be the one that's going to push us over the edge into 1 million land, and then we're going to go and get our new office. So that is one good thing, is that we'll be moving up in the world. So I don't think I want to move just yet. I don't want to progress this. I don't want to kind of progress things just yet, I don't think. However, after the 3rd week into the 4th week, our game is still ranked #1, which is awesome. But surprise hit, Cap Studios is still fairly new to the industry. We cannot wait for what they'll develop next. So basically we're saying that we're doing really well. We are currently over 2 million, so I didn't realize we were going to be getting that much money. So we'll probably be moving up after our next game, I would imagine. But I also want to make a new game engine first. Well, actually, after we develop a game report. Oops, forgot to do that. Alright, so we just got our game report back. So medieval and strategy is a great combination, which I believe is actually told to us during our review. And then sound seems to be quite important for this type of game, which I believe we put a decent amount into. So I think we did alright with that one. G64 is no longer supported. It's off the market. It generated us 2.5 million in sales, so that's absolutely ridiculous. But anyway, with all of our newfound cash, let's go ahead and start researching into new things. So we got like mono sounds. I think we had like target audience. We also had marketing, which is basically marketing is like being able to put like ads for ourselves and stuff into gaming magazines, and also then I'll be able to do interviews for various games that we develop. Every once in a while, get like a little pop-up on the screen that says, "Hey, we'd like to ask you a few questions about your next game that you're putting up here. Would you mind telling us a little bit about it?" And you can choose to do that or not. So there's various things. Oh, what the heck? We have a need a decrypt message. Special ops offer. Our agents have recently managed to borrow some research information that might be of interest to you. I don't think I want to deal with any shady folks like that who send encrypted messages. I'm gonna pass on that one. Alright, so I'm just gonna go ahead and cut until I have researched all of these things here, so I'll be back in a bit. Alright, so I finished researching all like the game engine elements, so I actually had enough research in here to go ahead and get a topic. So let's get horror, because I personally am a big fan of horror games, so I will thoroughly enjoy making one. So once this finishes, once this finishes researching real quick, we'll go ahead and start up on our new game engine here. Got our new topic, horror, so let's go ahead and create our custom game engine tutorials, mono sound, and then we also have a few other things that aren't game engine parts that would be like the target audience and a few things like that. So basically we can start making games that are specifically for a certain age group, basically putting a rating on the game. This is going to be Mark 2. Alright, so we'll go ahead and make the engine here, and I'll get back to you guys when it's done. Alright, so our game engine just got complete, so now we can make better games. But anyway, I think I'm going to go ahead and cut this video here, so slip those shoes back on because it's closing time. Thank you folks so much for coming out and watching this tonight. So if you liked it, leave a like for me just so I know. Oop, stop it. Stop interrupting me. Vega Oasis, stop it. Pause it there. Actually save it. Alright, sorry. Let me try that again. So those shoes back on because it's closing time. Thank you folks so much for watching the video. So if you liked it, leave a like just so I know. Subscribe if you want. But anyway, I will see you folks tomorrow. Peace.